A controversial spiritual group promises to find its followers eternal love and riches.
This is my pool, my slide. You may recognize the Porsche and good old Corvette. It's looking good. Don't be upset or jealous, because you're gonna find out how easy this is for you. You could have this too.
Known as the Twin Flames universe, it's led by Jeff Devine and Canadian Shalia Devine, and it has attracted thousands of followers. But many are now saying the group controlled their every move and coerced some into changing their gender. In a global exclusive, W5's Avery Haynes sat down with the founders in a new special. It airs on Saturday, but Avery is joining us today here on Your Morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
I knew a little bit about this going in, Avery, so I'm fascinated to hear what the founders had to say. These promises of finding your eternal love or your twin flame is what drew members in. Listen, we know loneliness is an epidemic in North America, so you can see why people went looking. But how does the process of finding your match work in this particular setting, in this group?
Well, the idea is like a twin flame in their world is somebody who was chosen for you by God. And Jeff and Shalia very categorically say that if you follow them, you will find your twin flame. This is a promise, this is a guarantee. And that path to finding your twin flame is paved with riches and happiness and spiritual contentment. And so this promise was, as you were mentioning, this epidemic of loneliness, this promise was very, very intriguing to a lot of people. They have hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook. They right now have about 2,000 members who are paying students. And their entire foundation is built on the premise that everything that's keeping you from your heart's desire is trauma that you have not healed. So it's upsets within yourself. They have something called the mirror exercise. And the idea is that any reaction that you have to something external is something that you have to take inside of you and heal, and it won't bother you anymore. And what ex-followers say is that this is a tool that is used to break them down, because you can't be angry because that's on you. You can't be sad. You can't question because you have to take that inside and heal what's making you do that. And so they've used this mirror exercise to become this high control group.
What's also so interesting about this group is, and this often can happen in groups like this, where it starts off as one thing and then sort of evolves as the control builds into something else. So when you spoke with former members of the Twin Flames universe, did they let you know how it went from a group that promised eternal love and happiness to one that would allegedly coerce some people to change their names, change their gender expression?
Well, I spoke to one former member who said, look, this is not like you walk in, it's full wackadoodle story, and you say, hey, sign me up, I want to join a cult. It started as a place for people who felt, they all talked about being love bombed. They felt that they belonged. They found this community to help them figure out why their life wasn't going in the way that they wanted it to go. Jeff is very charismatic, very outrageous, and they believe now that they have, as they describe it, escaped Twin Flames universe. They believe that Jeff Devine, who has a degree in business, and Shalia, who has a long spiritual background, that it began as kind of a business. They recognized when they started posting videos about their twin flame love that people really were drawn to them and that they could make money off it. And Anne-Marie, they have made a lot of money. These guys are multimillionaires. They've got this 7,000 square foot mansion, which they invited me into, as well as a Christmas party of their inner circle. They have made a lot of money off this. The ex-followers say it slowly started morphing into a religion, and they do have a religion. They call it the Church of Union. And that Jeff started identifying as God and calling himself the second coming, the Master Christ, the prophecy that you've been waiting for, and telling them that when he was speaking to them, it was actually God who was speaking to them, and that disobeying him was disobeying God.
Avery, I was really excited that you had a chance to sit down, because I wanted to know the questions you were going to ask them. Jeff and Shalia, you sat down with them, as you said, they invited you into their mansion. They denied the allegations that face them. It is a conversation worth watching, this one that you have with them, and people can tune into that. But what was their response or explanation for the claims that are being made against them? I mean, when I started watching some of this stuff, my heart broke for these members who really wanted to believe in finding love.
It's such a great question, Anne-Marie, because I was really curious about that too. You know, there are so many allegations against them and so many just outrageous allegations. We had to turn this into a 2-hour special in order to lay out the allegations and give them a chance to respond. The reality is they say that everything is a lie and that they've never convinced anyone to change their gender, even though 18 of their followers have transitioned, mostly from women to men, and that the people who are making these allegations are damaged people who have not healed their upsets. And if they had stayed in the group longer, they would have healed the anger that's making them say these things. It was an interesting, there's a lot of word salad in this interview. I mean, cutting it down was a challenge because there's a lot of circular talk and a lot of just the sense that if you just say, well, that's not true, even though we have the videos of him describing himself as the Master Christ, of him berating students and telling them, when God tells you something, you listen to it. When God tells you this is your twin flame, when God tells you you are this. So it's an interesting interview, that's for sure.
Yeah, cannot wait for everybody to see it. W5's Avery Haynes, thanks for joining us this morning. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.